All right, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Eamon. Usually on this channel, I'll do like car mods, DIYs, stuff like that. I'll build cars. I have a few cars, 435, an X3, and a 3 Series, an F33 Series. But today I want to talk about the new BMW 3 Series, one of the most iconic BMWs, probably I think the most sold BMW out there. If you guys don't know already, it's sort of old news at this point, but BMW just released their LCI of the 3 Series, the G20 3 Series. So if you guys don't know already, LCI stands for Life Cycle Impulse, which basically means it is a redesign, a refresh. It is not a new model. What I'm gonna do, guys, is we're gonna run through some pictures of it. Again, I'm gonna give you my thoughts and opinions. So what I have right here is my laptop with me. We have a few pictures of comparing the LCI versus the pre-LCI. What I'm gonna do is do like a screen share and just kind of talk through each of the pictures. We have them at like different angles. Again, I'll give you my opinions, nothing official, nothing too serious. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. And yeah, with that said, let me start the screen share and then I'll just throw myself in the corner so you guys don't have to look at my ugly face the entire time. So with that said, let's get started. So like I said, we're gonna just scroll through, look at all the different angles of this car. So we're gonna start off with the front over here. So of course, over here, guys, is the LCI. The bottom is the pre-LCI. Just right off the bat, I actually think the LCI looks way better. A few reasons. One, the headlights. So if you guys can see over here, if I zoom in, these headlights are more like square. They're more simplistic and, you know, just they don't look overly designed in my opinion, which I usually prefer in a car. Whereas the pre-LCI, you guys can see over here, one of the key characteristics of it, always had like this integrated bumper into the headlight. You guys can see that right over there. I wasn't always like the biggest fan of that. I know some people really liked it. I just never really did. I feel like it makes it look a little cheesy in my opinion. I can see why people like it, just personally I don't. So the new one is of course just flat. It's more simplistic. I feel like it looks a little more masculine in a way, sort of like having that more squared off look. But so not only that, in the headlights, if you guys can tell, the pre-LCI, it has like this, it has the daytime running lights, but they kind of look like an L, whereas the LCI, they're kind of like flipped upside down. Again, it's a subtle difference. If I can just zoom out so you guys can see both of them side by side. It's a subtle difference, but I actually really like the new design of this. I feel like it looks a little more like angular and it looks like it's coming towards you a little more. Again, giving that more aggressive look to it. So there's a few things I really like about the design there. Now, obviously the LCI one over here has this all blacked out grills. The pre-LCI, I don't know why this one has chrome. I think they usually have that like bronzish chrome that like my X3 had. I hate that color, but regardless, I mean, that's kind of giving a perception of a more aggressive look. I'm sure on the pre-LCI, like you could have easily just made that black. I'm not even like knocking it for that. But something else I actually think the pre-LCI did better than the LCI one is the actual bumper. Not entirely, but in a way. So if you guys can see here, the pre-LCI has more of that like typical BMW large intakes or air ducts, whatever you want to call them, like the typical 3, so like the large one in the center, and then one off to the left, one off to the right. Whereas the LCI, it doesn't really have that. Like it kind of does, but it's pretty different in my opinion. So I mean, you still get like those air ducts to the left here. I'm guessing that goes to like the brake cooling. You can actually see like a sensor hidden in the black, which I really like because I think on my 435 the sensors are like right in the bumpers, and you know, they just don't look the best. But this one, they kind of hide the sensors and the cameras and all that type of stuff. So I'm pretty sure that's a sensor, or is that a camera? Either way, it's sort of hidden in the black. You can see some more hidden over here in the black over here. But yeah, you have like this large air duct still in the center. I have some like smaller ones to the left and the right. I kind of miss the big ones in the left and the right personally, but you know, I still think it looks good. One thing I don't like about the LCI is this large black piece over here. Now if we zoom out, you guys can tell in the pre-LCI you have like your large air duct, you have like some, I guess like body color for a decent amount, and then you have your grille. Whereas over here in the LCI, it's pretty much the large air duct, this black piece, and then like almost no body color into the grille. It looks a little funny to me. Now I think with like that UK European style license plate, it works better because it kind of breaks it up. But if you take like a US car or like a car that doesn't have a front license plate on it, I think it's gonna look kind of funny. just my opinion, I think it would have looked better if they just kind of got rid of this black piece over here and they made that all like the body color. Yeah, overall guys, I think the LCI front end looks much better. Pre-LCI also look good. Again guys, this is all just my opinion and it's all just for fun. I know I'm probably being overly critical about some things, but you know, again, we're just doing this for fun. So with that said, let's just go on to the next set of pictures. So pretty similar side angle. I mean, we can mainly see like the front end. Again, I already told you guys my opinions of that. From the side, it really kind of like holds that same like stance and proportions, which is obviously a good thing. I think the 3 Series is a very well proportioned car, sort of being a mid-sized sedan. So from like a side view, again, pretty similar. I think one of the main things I want to point out here is BMW kept a lot of these strong body lines throughout the side, which I really liked. I kind of feel like in the 4 Series, they kind of got rid of some of them and it kind of became more of like a rounded off car. But in the 3 Series, it looked like they kept it. Obviously guys, now that I brought up the 4 Series, something to note, they didn't put those large grills in the 3 Series, obviously, which is a good thing. It is unfortunate. I love the 4 Series. I prefer the 4 Series. I have my 435. I had that car first. I love it more than I love my F30. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So it's kind of a bummer that they threw that huge grill and kind of went like, I know they were experimenting with something new on the 4 Series, maybe like the car that they sell less, so they figured it'd be the car to experiment on. But it is at least nice to see that they didn't put those massive grills on the 3 Series. They kept the grill, although larger than grills of the past, like my F30, it's still pretty proportioned in my opinion. But yeah, overall guys, nothing really to say about like the side here. Strong body lines, pretty much it. We can't really see the wheels unfortunately because the car is in motion, but let's just keep on going. So from the rear end is probably one of my favorite angles of the LCI, and a big part of that is this diffuser. Now I know this probably isn't technically a diffuser. A diffuser, you know, serves like a certain purpose. Probably not a diffuser by the book, but this, I'm still gonna call it a diffuser. This diffuser looks so freaking good in my opinion. One of the big things that I really like that they did is those like not side markers, those rear reflectors, I think they're technically called. They integrated them in this black portion of the bumper over here, whereas in the pre-LCI, it was just sort of like awkwardly in the bumper, like just kind of randomly placed over there. I didn't really like that. Again, very small nitpicky thing, right? Like everything that I'm saying here is pretty small and nitpicky, but I really like how they integrated it into the bumper this time around. And then when you come down to the center over here, I think it looks sick. Like the way it kind of like comes up, and you obviously have like your fins over here. There's only 2 fins, which I feel like they could have put more, maybe like another one over here and like spaced them out a little better. But regardless though, I think it looks really good. It looks really aggressive. Where you compare it to like the pre-LCI, it's definitely a lot more subdued. I mean, it does look good with like these vents that they have on the side over here, but yeah, I just think this new diffuser looks great. In terms of the rear taillights, I think they're pretty much exactly the same, which is not a bad thing. The rear taillights of the G20 were, in my opinion, some of the best taillights that BMW ever designed. They look really good. I'm glad they didn't change them. Anyways, otherwise guys, nothing really else to talk about in the rear end over here. So let's keep on scrolling, see what we have next. The big one. So all right guys, so the interior has always been my favorite part, and I know a lot of people's favorite parts about the G20. So if you guys don't know, I believe I mentioned it in the beginning of this video, but I own an F30. So I own a 2017 BMW 330i. If you guys are new to the channel, if you're not new here, you'll know that I already have it. But that interior is nice. I love my interior. It has Apple CarPlay. I put the digital speedometer or cluster in there, and I feel like it feels a little more modern. But the G20 took it to the next level, and now if you guys can tell, the LCI just takes it to that next level. Before, obviously, you had 2 screens, so you had like your digital cluster over here, then you had like your iDrive system, your head unit over there, which always looked really good in my opinion. Otherwise, like the interior is beautiful. You had like your shifter, your newer shifter over there, which looked really good. Your start button on like the, I guess like the center console, is that what you'd call it? So it all looks really good. But then on the new one, few big things. So mainly regarding like what I just talked about, you no longer have like a separate cluster and head unit. It's all just one large screen. Now I think it's still technically two screens just in one unit. So I think it is still technically two separate screens, but it looks like it's one. It looks pretty wild, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with this. I love it because it looks super modern. It looks super sleek and luxurious. I hate it because it doesn't feel very sporty to me. Again, just my opinion, but I feel like this is more of like a luxury car, and I feel like the G20 definitely leaned more towards a luxury car, at least in terms of its design, over like the F30. F30 still felt like a sports sedan. I did actually have the pleasure of driving a G20, a few of them, a M340 and a 330i, which I had as a loaner car for a few days. So I really got familiar with the interior of it. But yeah, it definitely leaned more towards like a luxury car in my opinion, although it still felt like a sports sedan. I personally think it was like leaning more towards like a luxury car. And this just sort of takes it to that next level. So if you guys like that, you'll love this. If you guys like the more, you know, like sporty nature, I personally don't think this looks too sporty. It looks really good. I think as like a daily driver, that's fun to drive and still quick, I think this is great. But if you guys really want like a raw car, this is sort of like leaning more and more away from that. But the next big thing, at least in my opinion, that they changed in the interior is the shifter. So if you guys can tell, there's no shifter anymore, which is interesting, right? Because like they still have paddle shifters, which is nice. Like, you know, obviously these cars only come in automatic now. There's no manuals, which has already been a thing, so we're not really going to go into that. But it's nice that you can still control your gears with the paddle shifters, which is always nice because you still kind of feel like you have that control over the car. It's not like a manual. It'll never replace a manual, but it is better than nothing. But now you can't even use your shifter, obviously, because you don't even have a shifter. So that's going to be interesting. Over here, it looks like you guys have like a few buttons, which, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. I know Acura's been doing that for a little while. I'm a huge fan of Honda and Acura, and I know they've been doing that. So I wasn't crazy about it when they did it. I don't think I'm going to be crazy about it when BMW does it. But it is what it is. I guess that's just like how things are going. It does clear up some space. But yeah, I just always prefer like an actual shifter. Obviously, you can put it like into manual mode. You can use that shifter to shift throughout gears, although it's, you know, still an automatic. But it was fun to do. Otherwise, guys, it looks like the interior is pretty much the same. They did get rid of a lot of buttons over here. So if you guys can tell, you have like, you know, like a few buttons over here, your heated seats, stuff like that. That looks like that is no longer there. Seems like you still have, I don't know if that's for the radio or for, yeah, it looks like it might be for the radio. It seems like climate control, heated seats, all that type of stuff is now, it's like all this stuff here. All that stuff might just be like in the new iDrive system, which again, personally, not a fan of. It looks better, right? It looks cleaner, it looks more sleek, it looks less cluttered, but you know, I'd like to have physical buttons when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I think it's such a pain to go through like your iDrive system just to control like your AC or something like that. So it is what it is, guys. Otherwise, steering wheel is pretty much the same. Nothing wrong with that. Steering wheel is beautiful. The rest of the interior seems pretty similar. The center console, yeah, still pretty similar. The dash, pretty similar. Obviously changing a little bit for like those reduced buttons there. As we can see, red interior. So yeah, that's pretty much all of it, guys. At least all the pictures that this website gave me. I think we pretty much covered everything except for the power plans. Power plans, to my knowledge, have not changed. So you're still gonna get the B58. You're still gonna get the B48. I believe they have like those integrated hybrid systems in them. But obviously, you know, the B48 and the B58 are great motors. I wouldn't see a reason for BMW to change them, at least yet. Yeah, overall, guys, absolutely love the new 3 Series, especially the rear end. The interior is also really nice. I think in terms of like a daily driver, it is great. It feels very luxurious, feels very expensive, and just overall a nicer place to be in, like when you're driving day to day to work, on road trips, stuff like that. Yeah, that was just my opinion of the new LCI 3 Series. I know I was a little overly critical on certain things. You know, this is all in good fun, not meant to be taken seriously, not an official review. I'm not a reviewer. I'm just a guy who owns a few BMWs, who loves them, who loves talking about them. So hopefully we can kind of start like a discussion down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys like about it? What do you guys don't like about it? You guys heard what I like. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree. Again, all for fun, all just, you know, strictly opinion based. So with that said, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know down in the comments below, because if you do, I'll definitely make more like them. I enjoy these types of things, just kind of like talking about cars. So it's kind of nice to do this on the YouTube channel. So if you guys liked it, please let me know. Drop it a like. I'll definitely make more like them. If you guys don't like it, I'm sorry. I won't make any more like it. I'll just keep this to, like, you know, talking about this with my friends and my brothers. But yeah, anyways guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop this video a like, leave that comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.